You're listening to The Potentializer, the show where small apartment investors learn how to grow wealth faster, with less effort, more credibility, and real impact. Hosted by best-selling author and platform builder Lance Edwards, this podcast is your inside track to smarter models, collaborative deals, and overlooked opportunities that create true freedom. Whether you're just getting started or ready to scale with partners, platforms, and purpose, this is your launch pad.
Well, hi, everyone. This is Lance Edwards. Welcome to the Potentializer Podcast. This is the show where we spotlight real stories, bold strategies, and smarter ways to build wealth without the grind. And if you're ready to break free from the old rules and unlock the true potential through partnerships, platforms, and powerful investments, you're in the right place. And you're in the right place today because we got a powerful niche for you with the real Jack and Jill are actually here. And Stephen Jack Butala and Jill DeWit, but they go professionally as Jack and Jill. And these are the land, I guess I'm going to call you the land couple. They have done over 16,000 transactions in land. And I think it's kind of like the number of burgers sold. They have a sign going, just flipping around outside on number of transactions. And they're the owners and operators of the Land Academy, and we're going to be speaking to them about land. So, Jack and Jill, welcome so much to the Potentializer Podcast.
Thank you. Very happy to be here. And why have we not done that? I wouldn't mind a little ticker up on the office wall showing, one more burger sold.
Yeah, I think, but that'd be your shtick. That'd be your shtick. Well, and so I mean that's a phenomenal achievement. 16,000. If you do it by the hour, one every few hours or something.
You laugh about that, Lance, and I'm sure Jack's going to tell a little more in a minute, but that was a lot of it in the beginning. There were, back in the day, we had hourly auctions running, selling land, and that you could rack up numbers fast that way.
That's how we hit those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's phenomenal. Well, I want to build up to that. So let me back up a little bit. Let's start with how did Jack and Jill, how did the two of you get involved with land as a niche, as a real estate niche?
So I started very briefly. I started as a commercial real estate broker in Detroit out of college around the very early 90s. And it was a pretty serious real estate depression, or recession, I should say. And so I decided to form a niche for long-term care facilities because people are getting older, as they are now, and the whole thing. And it worked out really well. I bought and sold a bunch of properties wearing different hats, but realized at the end of it that it was one of the most complicated real estate transactions you could dream up. Federal approval, state approval, all kinds of things were involved. And it took a year. And when deals take a year, as you know, and your constituency or following knows, deals get killed. Time kills deals. So I swung the pendulum all the way back and decided to buy a piece of property in very rural Arizona just to see what would happen. It was an 80-acre piece of property. I think I paid around $8,000 for it. Redressed it up, not physically, but on the internet, and resold it for something like $16,000 or $18,000. This is after 4 or 5 years of buying and selling, very successfully buying and selling, I might add, long-term care facilities. And so I was hooked from that point forward. That's how we really got into it. Jill and I joined forces much later, around 2009 or 8 or something like that. And that's when the business really took off because she filled, I'm the technical person, but she gave breathed some, personality, and some, her phone skills and closing skills are far surpassed ever what mine were. So that's why we're really here.
You had a team though. You had built up a pretty big organization. Yeah. And then in 2009, we all know what was happening at that time. So things were really scaled back. So so when I came in, it was kind of like, everybody's kind of standing here, there was not a lot of excitement going on. And I'm like, you guys, I can sell this stuff, out of my way. And so that's what I did. I just got on the phone and I started selling, and here we are.
Yep.
So out of adversity comes your Land Academy empire here. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And what's nice, we were just talking about that with our community the other day. I'm like, I'm sure one of the reasons you're here is because we've survived not one, not two, but gosh, three, big,
So have you,
well,
actually,
two.
Lance.
Yeah, well, I wasn't. Oh, yeah, Lance has it. Like, I thought you're pointing at me. I'm like, don't tell me how old I am. No, just kidding. But Lance also, like, we've been through it, and we're still here, and it's nice when you have someone that says, you're going to weather the storm. We've done it. Here's how you do it.
No, that's fair. That's excellent. I mean, it's interesting you say this because I was having the same thought the other day. It does age us a little bit. Now, how many different cycles we've been through, but for somebody who's never been through it, it's a great resource for a couple like you that can, okay, here's what to expect, here's how you get through it, as opposed to there's a lot of scary times out there.
Yeah.
These
Right.
things happen. All right, so you got into land, and I gotta. This is why I'm really interested in speaking to both of you today. Is so what makes land investing different from traditional real estate, whether it's single family or multifamily for that matter? What do you consider makes it different or unique?
So it's funny you bring that up because my dad was a small apartment investor. My dad owned all throughout my childhood, owned a small accounting practice. So he was constantly had clients that were in trouble, had a small apartment building. He would save them from it and sometimes clean it up, sell it, sometimes rent it out. So I'm pretty familiar with your asset class. And what was the question?
Why land?
Well,
I was going to say, can I give you my answer? Think
Yeah.
you can do it from the back of a boat.
yeah.
From the back of a boat? Okay.
Which we do.
I want to hear about it. Tell the story. Okay. You're primarily flipping the land, I take it, right? And
Yeah.
with what you're doing? Or?
It's like the big picture is it's the easiest thing. It's the most simple. It's the most
fast.
basic. It's so overlooked, and it's a thing that's easy to sell. Like it's so when people what we do is we do, and this has always been Jack's job is to make my phone ring, whether it's on the buy side or the sell side. Now it's my team, but what's the secret? Well, he knows how to pick the areas. Well, and he knows what to look for, and it's from part of it I think is you, and part of it is now you're a pro, obviously. You really know how to do these things and you know how to teach it. But he also knows how to price offers. We send very deliberate with a dollar amount, respectful, not postcard gimmicky price offers to sellers in the areas of the properties that we want to buy and just wait for them to call us back kind of thing.
Tens of thousands at a time.
Yeah. And when the people that are getting these, it's not, we do it for houses too. So don't think that we don't do that. But especially for rural vacant land, some of them forgot about it. Some of them are like, oh, what am I going to do with this? My wife's been killing me. Now I'm staring at an offer, and oh, wow, I got to pay the taxes again, or someone's passed on, fill in the blank. When it's not something they're living in and staring at and appreciating every day, it's very easy to go, I can have 50 grand right now, or what else am I going to do with this? The kids don't want it, and we're not going to build our dream cabin there after all, kind of thing. So that's why
It's unwanted.
it is. It's unwanted, and they need the dough.
Unwanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do because
That's a very
there's no inspections. With land, if there's a fire, great. Now the brush is gone, kind of thing. I don't have to do anything to it, and I can be anywhere in the world and do it.
The downside is you're not building a balance sheet along the way that you would with apartment buildings. So there's that dual income scenario, balance sheet and income statement scenario with traditional real estate, with land. And the reason I told the short story about my dad was he just always said, never buy land. It's the worst thing ever. Of course, that was a way different time. They didn't have the internet and the exposure for what's for sale. Right. So I took that in the beginning to the end. It was just we were selling 10, 20 properties a day at one point.
That's how you get to 16,000, I guess.
Yep.
That kind of volume. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Well, you open a couple of doors here for me. One of them is the marketing technique that you just mentioned is very interesting, where you send out a direct mail piece, it sounds like, with an actual price offer, a reasonable price offer for your property. And I'm curious, is it sometime weeks or months before you get a response? Is it kind of burning in their brain over time, and ultimately something triggers them wanting to do it, or do they call right away? Yeah, I'll dump this land.
It takes a couple of weeks for the mailer to hit. In general, we actually we started and now own and manage the commercial printing company that handles all this because nobody understood. They just didn't understand in the past how it worked for us. So we'll we make 100% data-driven decisions. There's no guessing, well, maybe it's going to work here or there. Data and this is my role in all of this, is to analyze markets, see where the land and or the house scenario will work so that once we do send all this mail at the prices that are very specific, if one comes back, she knows. If she's on the phone with the seller saying, yeah, I got your mailer, $22,000. I do want to sell, but $22,000 isn't going to work. She knows without looking up anything that I've already done all that work, and 22,000 is probably a stand-up double for us, or at least a single. And so she'll just work it that way. So we're a pretty good team that way. But I want to drive this point home. None of this is feelings. It's all data driven.
That's true.
Yeah, it's all data. That's great segue. My second point was, you guys have said this a couple of times, is that the internet has enabled all of this. To have data-driven pricing, data-driven market selection, and do it from the back of a boat. Is that right?
Well,
Yeah.
let me go back and say, even 30 years ago, he was still doing it on the back of a boat. It was just a different boat. So it's just gotten easier. Like when he was doing this, it was before Google Earth. And I remember when I came on, we were getting plat maps still from the county, and I'd sit here and have to try to figure out, looking at what I had, even when Google Earth was coming out, and trying to line up, I think that's the street, and now I can just punch in state, county, APN, and I've got the whole thing at my fingertips. It's a dream now. So, but we were doing it at school.
Jack, did you want to add something?
Yeah.
No, this boat's better.
Oh, okay. Mo better. All right. So I got to ask this question, because one of the questions I get a lot on apartments, because we're doing apartments across the country, and people always want to know what are the best markets, what constitutes the best market. So are there any qualitative attributes you're looking for to pick your markets for your land deals?
Before you answer that question, can I just tell Lance, we've done this exact strategy on small apartment buildings in LA County. So it can work anywhere. Yeah.
Worked really well, actually.
So go ahead.
So the process is this. I call it trolling/fishing. You get on the internet, let's say on realtor.com, maybe Zillow. You put in some parameters like 1 to 5 acres, less than $45,000 sale price, or let's say between 20 and 45. I'm just using examples, and a couple other parameters, and then you start trolling around the entire country and seeing what pops up. And so you'll see clusters, depending on what your acquisition criteria is. You'll see clusters of property that fit your profile of what you're trying to purchase. I then translate. This is all automated now in a product that we just created called Deal Complete. It makes it very, very simple. And so when you get to these zip codes, you plow those into what I call our red, yellow, green test. And so to directly answer your question, how that comes out in the red, yellow, green test is that confirms that what I thought when I was trolling can work. And if I actually do send out offers that are priced properly, I should be able to buy them and then resell them pretty quickly because of the statistics that are in the red, yellow, green test. Days on market, new list to sold, how many properties got listed that month and then sold that month. And you look at those statistics together, there's a bunch of them in the red, green, yellow test. And you look at all those statistics relative to all the adjacent zip codes, and you're going to pick 2 or 3 zip codes that really work well for houses and or land, preferably both, because usually in the markets, they'll both work at the same time. And then you send out 10, 20,000 offers, or however many offers are viable, because you can see all the data on their assessor roll. You can see who owns what. And then we send out the mailer, and then I leave, and Jill's job begins.
And then he's back on the boat.
Yeah.
And then my phone starts ringing.
It's interesting. I have a system as well. We have a red light, green light system.
okay.
Same thing for evaluating projects like that. Jack, I got to ask, what's your background? Clearly, you're a heavy data-driven, analytical type mind. What is your background?
I have an accounting background. I have an accounting background, and I made partner at KPMG, at which time I chose to leave.
Thank you very
You've
much.
arrived now.
I hit my goal. I'm out of here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right? Okay, that's right. There's the data side.
Yep.
So, is this? I understand this is primarily rural land. Is that a preference that you goes after? Is rural land, and why is that? If that's the case, why is that more attractive?
It's any property that we believe, it's not just rural land, it's all pieces of vacant land. It's any property that we believe is priced at about 20% of its actual retail value, which allows us to buy it for about 20% of retail, and it gives us a huge cushion, allows us to sell it between 50 and 75% of retail value, which is what we do. We never go for retail, and that's the key to 16,000 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell a deal, basically. You're buying a super deal and selling a deal.
Exactly.
It's unwanted.
Then you got repeat customers. They love you. They feel great about what they want. Everybody went. I just doubled my money. That's been our thing. Double our money and get out fast, and then just keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
We have a whole full-time closing staff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what's now if you want to really, I know this question everybody's having right now. What is a typical hold time for you? How long do you hold a property before you acquire it and flip it?
2 weeks to now, I'm gonna say a good average is 2 weeks to 90 days, because we wouldn't be in that market if it wasn't going to move that fast anyway. And a typical, one of my favorite numbers is I'll buy all day long for around $50,000 and sell for 120, 150, something like that, because it's really worth almost 200. Everybody loves those.
Yeah.
So and if I do 4 of those a month, which is not hard to do. That's a pretty nice, if you can't live off that, we got to talk.
Our dollar volume is pretty high now.
That's right.
And our unit volume, our model has changed, since the 90s. Our unit volume is down pretty low, a lot lower than it used to be, but our dollar amount's pretty much higher.
Yeah.
Less deals, more money.
That's what we tell people a lot in Land Academy. I'm like, now add a 0. And they're like, what? I'm like, add a 0. Trust me, and it gets easier too.
We partnership a lot of deals too. Right. That's a big part of our business model. We fund other people's transactions that are within our group, and that's the reason we started Land Academy, so that we could, and it's a two-way street. On larger deals, we bring in people that are in our group. It's a pretty tight-knit group of people, around 400 people. And then we will also, when great deals come in, we had just 2 of them come in today that we're trying to get under contract and all that, where we fund the whole thing and then we split it. So it's a real huge opportunity for people who are breaking into the business. They don't have to have they don't have to have any money for the transaction. We tell them, your only job in life right now is to go find great deals. Yeah. And you know that you sleepy.
The money's there.
Yeah.
And and
the deals are there.
Yeah. We don't take out a loan, don't do anything crazy. We'll be the bank, no problem. Because we're not holding them. We're all just cashing out real fast. And that's what usually happens. I'll have people that will come to me and have a couple great deals. And I'm like, all right, let's go get 5 more. And then all of a sudden they're like, I don't need your money anymore, Jill. Thank you very much. I'm like, darn, what just happened? So, yeah.
Maybe you ought to have that as a condition of we get the next 5 to fund the first one.
Exactly.
But you answered my question. So for somebody, who doesn't have the capital yet, basically joining up with you guys, they're the finder, they're the deal finder, and they bring it to you, and you've got a partnership arrangement where you'll fund it, and then it's not like you split it. It's a great way for them to get started, and great way for you guys to get some deal flow. That's super.
Exactly.
And
we have a lot of people in our group too. That all they do is fund other people's deals. They are usually guys in our age demographic.
They're very smart. They have a lot of dough. They know how smart and technical our group is, and they just want to sit back and be the bank.
Yep.
I'm like, that's okay too. Yeah.
Great. That's good. So when your academy members, are they doing this full-time, part-time? How would you characterize their approach?
The goal is full time for 90% of them, I would say. I mean, or almost all.
Wow.
So it starts off, I'm gonna say probably starts off part-time and then, and it depends on them. I've had people in, 6 months ago, I just made what I would make my annual salary. Oh my gosh, what just happened? And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get going and they're methodical about it, and that's fine too. I always say, like, I don't want you to quit your job until you're saying, I should have done that a year ago. I have all this saved up kind of thing. And now my day job is costing me money, which is what happened with me. So when I joined forces with him, I kept my day job and it was a crack up. And finally, we had a couple deals that were just so big. He, one in particular, he came to me and said, "You do realize you need to quit that job right now because I can't sell this all by myself," kind of thing. I'm like, I'm in.
It was not a hard conversation to have.
Because I like
Yeah,
it.
it's interesting you say that. That was my story as well. That was my story as well. Go ahead, Jill. I'm sorry. You're going to say something.
So we complement each other very well. He is so I can't stand his part of I can do it, don't like it, and I will never be as good as you at what you do with the data and manipulating the pricing and the offers and all that. But you put a phone in my hand, out of my way. I'm gonna get a deal there somehow. Whatever, if it's buy side or the sell side.
Not a phone person, so
You're the
both ways.
Yep.
Yeah, you're the perfect partnership.
Yep.
Jack's the analytical and Jill's the expressive. I mean, it's just perfect partnership.
We call it information and inspiration.
Yep.
No, I consider that stolen. I'm going to use that. So that's good. So I got a question. So now, this all sounds fantastic. It sounds like a great model. Very simple model, very good. And you've just really automated it in some very cool ways, leveraging today's capabilities, technology-wise. What's the biggest mistake new investors might make, and how do they avoid that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jill.
Overpay for property. That's the biggest mistake I see. And one of the things we do every single week, we still do after Land Academy now has been over 10 years, and we still get together once a week on Thursdays. And one of the things we do is, would you do this deal? And we'll look at deals with them. And I'm like, you're paying too much. And they love that. They are able to talk directly with us on screen, and we'll pull up the deals with everybody to see and learn from. But that's one of the number of things is, like, they're new and they're getting going and they're excited and they're like, "Oh, this is my first deal." They said yes. I said, "That's wonderful, but don't buy it." This is not the one. Move on. I promise there is going to be another one. So that's what I've seen. And people coming to Land Academy too that I've talked to over the years and said, "I got to sell this dumb property first." I'm like, "Let me guess, you overpaid?" They're like, "Yep." And it's just, you saw something that wasn't there. And you just have to, over time, you learn. So yeah. What's yours?
I don't, my comment to that is, it's not anything real estate related. It's just a personality thing that they can't organize themselves enough to have a W-2 job, a couple of kids and whatever, and then spend 4 or 5 hours or whatever's required to get some traction in this business. So that's the, once you do a 1 or 2 or 3 deals and this clicks in your head, you're there's nothing's going to stop you then. That's what happened to me on that first land deal.
Yeah. Well, I love your model. If you can buy it at 20% of retail, you can make a lot of mistakes when you're buying at 20% retail and still make money.
That's it. Like today, I'm like, this is 60% of retail. It's not going to work. There's not a lot of wiggle room. Unless it's like, I'm buying for 600,000, it's worth $1 million. Okay, I would do that. That's fine, because I'll make a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm okay. When it gets up to those numbers, that's fine. But I still want more. I like, the sub $500,000. I want a lot of wiggle room in case something goes wrong, that I'm still going to be fine.
Perfect. I like that. So here's another question for couples that are in business, in real estate together or any kind of business together. What advice would you give to couples considering starting a business together? Because that can be stressful. What advice would you guys give?
Don't do it.
I was waiting for that. I knew that was coming.
It's not the first time we've been asked that question, probably not even this week. And,
We have
For
a
some
dog.
reason, you and I have survived this, but
I don't know how.
there's dark moments at time. Not so much anymore, but geez, when we were starting out, you know what the toughest thing for us was, for me really, not for her, was I was used to running everything.
Oh yeah.
And so, and she's just much better with the sellers. And on the, so there were a couple of instances really early on where she would get off the phone with the seller. I didn't know because we didn't have what the database type scenario we have now. And I would call it and with the same seller and negotiate a different price that was usually higher.
Ah,
And so,
I will never forget, Lance. This is a true story.
not
At the
a,
time, I
not
have
the,
my little office upstairs. He has a little office downstairs. I see in our spreadsheet. I'm like, what did you just do? What? He's like, I called that guy back. I'm like, no,
yeah.
I had a deal and he totally undid my work. So that
A lot
that's
of
a
people won't make it
yeah,
past those types of things, but if
yeah,
you have I'm not going to stop until this works mentality,
yes.
which is what we both have. I don't know why. You know what the thing is about Jill and I? This is the truth. We both want to get to some far off place and it's the same place, but how we go about it is very different.
True.
And so that has saved us. The fact that we really want to go to that place at some certain amount of time has saved us many times. Everything's fine now, but geez, those first couple of years were really rough.
Oh, it's hilarious. And we have a lot of couples. That's the thing too. People come to us, they're like, I want my wife to do this. This is great. And number one, they've got to be interested. You both have to have to appreciate this and love this. And then if you got that out of the way, then the next thing is, because we do have some couples that have been with us for 10 years too, I can think of right now, that are making it. You have to stay out of each other's lane. You got to figure out what you're best at, divide up the roles. Like literally, we've done this so many times. In our past, it's comical. Got out the yellow pad and drawn a line in the middle and wrote my things and his things, and then let the other person go. However they screw it up, let them go. And that helps.
We have couples that have joined many years ago, 10 plus years ago, and gotten divorced.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, they get remarried, and
Yep.
each of them are in Land Academy with
Yep.
with a new spouse.
We've had that.
And then they get divorced again and bring their third spouse into the lion's den and expect it to work. At which time both of us say,
Yeah.
maybe you should just not work with your spouse.
Yeah.
Well, see, they've made your system go viral. See, they've made
Yes,
your system go
it
viral.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, one of the things you got reminded me of, I'm really always talking a lot about the mindset in real estate and apartments, and and it's different than the employee mindset. I mean, Jack, you came out of the accounting background. I mean, how when I mention the word mindset in your own business or in your real estate business, does anything come to mind for you guys, or does this come up with some of your clients that you've had to kind of help them with their mindset or of organization or staying focused or avoiding the fear? Anything like that come up?
Yeah, we developed and have running now a coaching system, monthly coaching system that people can join voluntarily. And that I really thought it was going to be a little more like Jack's side of it. I was there real helping it, getting it going and helping on calls and things. And I thought it was really going to be all about Jack's side of it because pricing is confusing and some of the technicals, just learning Excel, was confusing for a while for a lot of people and things like that, understanding the data. But no, the most people struggle with their calendar, their kids, their schedule, staying on track, staying motivated. Yay, I made $50,000. Now I'm gonna take a trip. I'm like, stop. You can't stop. You can't turn it on and turn it off. It's not gonna work that way and you won't get rich that way. You got to put your head down and stay with it. Ignore your bank balance for a little while and then check it and then keep going kind of thing. So it's just that mindset and just keep moving forward. That's huge. That's the hardest thing.
What we learned really early on too is that a lot of this is gender specific. So Jill started a group called Land Academy Ladies, and they meet. I don't know how often you guys meet, but it was really, and still continues to be really successful because the way women look at risk and deals and motivation and all that, it's totally different. I think completely and totally different than the way men do. And I started a group that I haven't launched it yet, called Man Plan. So if you go to manplan.com, it's I'm still doing the content and I'm not sure when it's going to get released, but There's just a bigger men, just different. And so that's the ladies part of this thing's worked out really well,
We have
really successful.
That's one of the nice things about Land Academy is we've grown into not only just our land niche, but we have a couples niche like you picked up on, Lance, that they're drawn to us. And then also ladies. There's not a place for female investors really to go. And I have some amazing doing 7 figures, in year
They do
2.
deals together.
Yeah.
They fund each other's deals. And
Exactly. I'm like, yay, go Michelle, go.
I listen to some of the, I don't sit in on it, but I can hear Jill's voice from my office.
Yeah.
And the stuff that they talk about, we would never talk about. We would never talk about how I feel about a deal. I don't feel anyway. I don't have any. I have like 2 or 3 feelings in my whole entire universe, and I'm either happy or angry or
hungry.
It's like Sesame Street feelings.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Am I Bert and you're Ernie? I don't know.
Yeah, this is actually the podcast for man and women relationships, and so you've got a great. Well, I love this niche, and I love the business model, the simplicity of it, and I love the way what you've done with the academy as far as basically your matchmaking. You got you got the deal, we got the dollars, vice versa. You're allowing everybody to get a way to get started. I love the way you've automated it. I mean, you've really leveraged the technology. So, like you say, you do it from the back of a boat, and I love your marketing approach. Here's an offer, and it's really smart. It's really smart. So, how do people how they get connected with you guys? Where would we send them to you? How do they connect with you guys?
Landacademy.com. And everyone's invited. If you want to be a fly on the wall and get a one-time invite to our weekly member call, that's the best place to really show up and hear the community and see us and really see if this is a good fit for you. Just send a note to support@landacademy.com and they'll get you in our Zoom call every week.
We have a podcast called Land Academy Show. We're probably 2,400 episodes deep into that. So over a decade. So that's a great, free, simple way to get exposed to how we do it.
Okay, so we got 3 things. We got landacademy.com. Write this down. We'll put this on the show notes too for everyone. Landacademy.com. And then if you want to take them up on their, come be a fly on the wall for a night, it's support@landacademy.com.
And then whatever business you're in, if you need a good tool, like whatever kind of property you're doing, it could be houses, it could be, commercial, whatever it is, you want to use our tools. There's free access to our thing that we just launched this year. It's called dealcomplete.com. I'd say check that out too. It could just save you some time, save you some money if you're doing any offers, keeping track of your transactions, mainly picking stuff.
An end-to-end solution for buying and selling real estate.
Yeah, and getting funding. We fund other people's deals too, by the way, Lance. We have a saying between us, which is no good deal is going to go to waste. I don't care who you are or how you found it. You don't have to be in Land Academy. If you got something great, let's talk.
Yeah.
I'll help you.
That's excellent. So that's dealcomplete.com. And what was the podcast again, Jack? What was the podcast
Land Academy show
name?
Well,
Land Academy show. Okay. All right. Landacademy.com, support@landacademy.com, Land Academy Show, and dealcomplete.com. So, fabulous resources, great people. And so here's my final question. What question did I not ask that I should have asked?
you covered just about all of it.
Will we ever retire?
Oh,
Because I want to know
that's
the
the
question to
question
that
Jill
one.
wants to ask. I
Do
don't know
we-
why I
do
have to
we-
decide these
Wait,
things.
do we need a bigger boat?
No.
Okay.
No, we
Yeah,
do
there you go.
not. No, the answer is no to that. I don't want a bigger boat.
I know. We can handle it. The one we have right now, we can handle. It's good.
We're very semi-retired, Jill.
We
So
are.
I don't know. Walking away from all of it would be silly.
Couldn't do it. Or having too much fun,
Yeah, I
Lance.
get it.
That's it. These
Plus, what would you do?
Something-
What would you do? You got to
Yeah.
be careful. You got to have something to do every day.
That's it.
Yeah.
my phone rings, I gotta answer it, and I just had a call the other day from someone from an offer from 20 years ago. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my cow. I'm like, this is
21 years ago, you made that offer.
great. Would you do this? I'm like, I might. Give me the information. Let me call you back. Yeah.
Maybe Jill wants to spend more time with me.
Oh, that's it.
Working.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it. I'm sure that's it, Jack.
Working together for 16 years is not enough.
No, yeah, that's it.
Well, I think you guys got a great thing going. And thank you for that story about the 21 years later, because I had this, I believe they take a lot of those letters that we send out, they go into a folder and it just sits there. It's somewhere pegged in their brain somewhere, and then something happens and they know where to go find it. And all of a sudden you get a call and you're paying 21-year-old pricing. That's not a bad thing.
Isn't it great?
So, all right, so everyone. So, got the resources to put on the show notes. Landacademy.com. Go check it out. Go be a fly on the wall. Support at landacademy.com. Go see what their members do and listen to them on their 2,400 podcast episodes. Land Academy show. They must cover everything about life in those 2,400 episodes. That's comprehensive. Or check out their tools at Deal Complete. I want to thank you guys so much. This has been a real pleasure, and I think you guys got a great thing. Thank you so much for being part of our show today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, everyone. And so, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Potentializer Podcast, where we turn possibility into profit, one conversation at a time. And then for all these links and resources I'm sharing with you in the show notes, go to the Potentializerpodcast.com. Until the next episode, go potentialize your business. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Potentializer, where we unlock the true potential in people, properties, and partnerships through small apartment real estate. If today's episode helped you see a smarter path to wealth, authority, or impact, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the show with someone ready to grow. To plug into the platform, join the mastermind, or discover how to potentialize what you already have, visit wealthmastermindnetwork.com.